program and not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org, and if you're overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541, or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, bushfires, the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and the increase in emergency calls. In the second watch, helping schools recover after a disaster. What needs to be done? For our social media question, we ask, what do you think causes most bush and forest fires in Jamaica? Human activity or natural conditions? We're asking you to share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's our quote.
All right, today's I quote says, disasters don't just happen. They are often the result of choices we make before the crisis arrives. And this one is from Ban Ki-moon.
Good morning, Joka.
Good morning.
Yes, in the words of the producer, emergencies don't begin when the sirens sound. The first watch after this break.
Invited to listen to Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, every Thursday at 10 p.m. First Thursdays, the New United Bible Way Church of God with Reverend Dr. Jasmine Brown. Every second Thursday, Apostle Dr. Elaine Richards, Public Relations Officer, Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, and Women of God in Service, Bogus Ministries International. Every third Thursday, Senior Pastor Fitzroy Carr, Praise Deliverance Ministry. Every fourth Thursday, Reverend Dr. Leonie Samuels, pastor at the Richmond New Testament Church of God in St. Mary. And on fifth Thursdays, Reverend Dr. Ruthlyn McClarty, Kingdom Covenant Family Church. That's Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, every Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
Get ready to take a trip down memory lane this Throwback Thursday inside Alive 1 to 5 with yours truly, Sarah and the Chirpy One. Tune in at 1:45 for a whirlwind of wordplay with Menticize. Prayer Warriors unite, fuel your faith and ignite your spirit at 2 p.m. with Prayer Blast. At 2:15 inside Piece of the Past, we look at something from the past. At 3 p.m., take a musical trip back in time with our Throwback Thursday playlist. At 4:30, stick and stay for more fun coming your way as Auntie Vashti wraps things up with the Small People Show. All this and more will come alive this Throwback Thursday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101.
Come on now, everybody move. Come on now, move.
Hey everybody, it's time for
Hey, small people crew, it's me, Auntie Vashti, and there's so much about Jamaica. I can't wait to share it with you. Join me this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. on the Small People Show, where little voices make big sounds. This and every Thursday on Jamaica Up Close, it's all about our treasured island, Jamaica, from fun facts to hidden gems and all the things that make us truly special. Don't miss out. Tune in this and every Thursday on Jamaica Up Close at 4:30 p.m. with me, Auntie Vashti, only on the Family Station. Love 101.
Small people doing big things forevermore.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, the Jamaica Fire Brigade has reported an increase in emergency calls, many tied to bush and forest fires. So, what's behind the increase in these calls? What are the causes? And what can the public do to help reduce such fires? Well, to answer these and other related questions, we have joining us so far Mr. Damart Williams, Senior Director of Zonal Operations from the Forestry Department of Jamaica. Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Good morning.
Yes, morning to you. Yes, good to have you. We hope to be joined by Emilia Ebanks shortly from the Jamaica Fire Brigade. So in the meantime, Damart Williams, you are from the Forestry Department. Well, for the record, what really are the roles and responsibilities of that department?
Well, the Forestry Department is an executive agency, is tasked with the responsibility of managing Jamaica's forest resources.
Mm-hmm.
We are more so, sorry, I'm getting an echo.
We try to resolve that. I don't know if it's your end or ours, but you're using a speakerphone?
Yes.
Okay, that might be the cause. Could
All right.
yeah, use another means. Still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. Continue, please, Damart Williams.
Yes, so we have responsibilities for the forest reserves, forest estates, and forest management areas all over the island. So we, of course, ensure that there is reforestation taking place, maintenance of all these areas. A large part of that, of course, includes us engaging community members that reside in adjoining communities to these forest estates. That goes to the heart of it in terms of the social forestry component. And as we speak more of our activities relative to forest fires, you will see where there's an increased importance on us engaging those individuals to prevent forest fires within these areas. A question that you ask is, what is the main cause of forest fires? And our data, both empirical and anecdotal, shows that the majority of our forest fires actually start outside of our forest estates by human activities. So you have situations where there are individuals who are clearing land for planting or burning lands to ensure that whatever regrows, is much better fodder for their animals. And in some cases, you find where there are persons who are cooking as well, close to the forest reserves, and even within the confines of our forest estates as well. So what you'll find over time is that those activities cumulatively result in our forest fires. And that is why we have to ensure that our engagement apparatus is very robust
Mm-hmm.
in our communities, because these are the individuals who, for the most part, are responsible for the forest fires in our forest estates.
Yeah. Very interesting. We're going to drill down on that even more shortly. Emilio Ebanks, are you with us, sir? Emilio Ebanks from the. Could you unmute, please? Emilio Ebanks. All right. Still not having the connection there. Now, Mr. Damart Williams, you were saying that most or the majority of the fires really start outside of the forest. What are some of the other causes, though, apart from the human activity outside?
Well, we have received reports, unverified, I must say, that there are natural causes as well to our forest fires.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps somebody talks about lightning, or because of the intense heat, there's just natural combustion taking place.
Mm-hmm.
But we have not seen from our assessments, much evidence, if any, of that. But a lot of the times we do get reports from individuals who are living close to the forest estates that this is actually happening. But as I said, our data suggests, for the most part, that human or anthropogenic activities result mostly in our forest fires.
Mm. And so you're saying you're not ruling out natural combustion in terms of Jamaica's experience?
No, we're not.
Right. So what does that entail, the natural combustion? Can you tell us more for those who need to be explained to?
Well, it happens when you have extreme temperatures. So if you have, for example, very high temperatures during a certain time of the year for an extended period, it is suggested that because of that, you have fuel in our forest estates, the leaves, the branches, whatever the case may be, will just naturally ignite because of that extreme heat.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what normally happens.
Yes.
But that is what people think actually happens in our Jamaican context, right?
What about the chemistry behind it in terms of rock formation and all of that? Does that play a role in that?
That is something that has been reported to us as well. People speak about what we call flintstone.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, there's high temperatures. Once the stone is exposed to those high temperatures, then sometimes fire actually starts.
Are there any sections of Jamaica that are more vulnerable in that regard?
Well, I would speak generally about our hotspots. We have a number of them right through the island, more so the eastern parishes. So if you're looking at, for example, Clarendon, particularly northern Clarendon, places, for example, Bullhead. Naturally, of course, you talk about Kingston and St. Andrew, the hills of Kingston and St. Andrew. St. Thomas, sometimes through the year, has very extreme temperatures. Likewise, Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So there are various hotspots throughout the island that we pay particular focus to, not just in our management activities within the estates themselves, but also in terms of our community engagement. And that is where the Jamaica Fire Brigade comes in prior to any fires. Because I know there may be a situation where persons just think that Jamaica Fire Brigade only just responds to fires. But there's also a system in place where there's a joined up approach between the Forestry Department and the Jamaica Fire Brigade to build the capacity of individuals who are residing in these communities close to our forest estates.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to stick a pin right there. We have more to hear and more to speak about on the other side of the break. Soon come back.
Nobody make a love thing flop. Fontana, are your one-stop shop? Oh yes.
If you love someone, yes. Perfumes, wine, steady beers, and chocolate.
It's all Valentine's inside that Fontana.
Oh,
Yes, baby, love me know you want it. Perfume, wine, steady beers, and chocolate.
you better go Fontana for me.
Fontana, how you want that?
It's so Valentine's inside of Fontana.
Worship and Faith International Fellowship Wasif presents International Dance Burning and Financial Empowerment. Sunday, February 8th, join us at 6 p.m. at 55A Old Harbor Road, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Take along copies of your debts to be birthed. Add 10 things you're believing God for. Those will be prayed over and lifted up before the Lord.
There's a fire blazing outside.
Hey everybody, it's time for Small People with Auntie Vashti.
Hey, small people crew, it's me, Auntie Vashti, and there's so much about Jamaica. I can't wait to share it with you. Join me this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. on the Small People Show, where little voices make big sounds. Listen every Thursday on Jamaica Up Close. It's all about our treasured island, Jamaica, from fun facts to hidden gems and all the things that make us truly special. Don't miss out. Tune in this and every Thursday on Jamaica Up Close at 4:30 p.m. with me, Auntie Vashti, only on the family station. Love 101.
It's for small people doing big things forevermore.
Get ready to take a trip down memory lane this Throwback Thursday. Inside Alive 1 to 5 with yours truly, Sarah and the Chirpy Band. Tune in at 1:45 for a whirlwind of wordplay with Menticize. Prayer Warriors unite, fuel your faith and ignite your spirit at 2 p.m. with Prayer Blast. At 2:15 inside Piece of the Past, we look at something from the past. At 3 p.m., take a musical trip back in time with our Throwback Thursday playlist. At 4:30, stick and stay for more fun coming your way as Auntie Vashti wraps things up with the Small People Show. All this and more will come alive this Throwback Thursday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101.
Come on now, boom. Everybody, boom. Come on now, boom.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. And this is the first watch. We're looking at the whole matter of bushfires, forest fires, the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and the increase in emergency calls. In so doing, we have online Demart Williams, Senior Director of Zonal Operations at the Forestry Department of Jamaica. And I hope we are joined now as well by Emilio Banks, Fire Brigade Public Education Officer. Good morning again to you, gentlemen. Good morning. Demart Williams, there? Emilio Banks, there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, not hearing you. Go again, please.
I'm here.
Yes, who is that?
Hello?
Yeah, that's Emilio Banks?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
I'm really hearing you, though.
Yeah, we're trying to solve the technical issues, if you're hearing me. All right. On the other end, we're supposed to have Demart Williams still with us.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, good. Mr. Banks, what are the stats in regards to emergency calls to the JFB in 2025?
I'm barely hearing you guys. I can't make out what you're saying.
The stats in regards to emergency calls to the JFB in 2025?
Yeah, I'm
not hearing. Okay, not hearing. Okay. Demart Williams?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, can you hear me now, Emilio Banks?
I'm hearing a little bit, but I can't make out all of what you're saying.
Okay. I'm just asking, what are the stats in regards to emergency calls to JFB in 2025?
The I'm hearing you're asking about
The stats last year.
statistics.
Yes, sir.
Well, last year we responded to 21,699 fire calls. Well, calls, emergency calls to be exact. I'm not hearing if you're asking something about that. I'm barely hearing you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're still having difficulty hearing me. All right. Let me go to Damart Williams until we try to sort that out some more. Damart Williams, still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah. In terms of these fires that we're having over the years, you know, people like to talk about bushfires vis-a-vis forest fires. The same thing? Any difference?
There is somewhat of a dichotomy between the two in terms of who uses the phrases.
Mm-hmm.
So the forestry department usually uses forest fires vis-a-vis the Jamaica Fire Brigade that says bushfires. Bushfires is somewhat all-encompassing. So you have areas that are outside of forest reserves or forested areas that are considered to be bush areas.
Mm-hmm.
And those areas also form a part of the statistics that are presented by the Jamaica Fire Brigade. So the overall figures for bushfires that the Jamaica Fire Brigade might have are not necessarily the same as what the forestry department might have, because our forests are a subset of those bushfires that the Jamaica Fire Brigade speaks of.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah.
But I must say though that is something we're working on in terms of getting a consistent phrase or nomenclature, because what we want to do is not to confuse the public in terms of what it is that we're reporting on and what the Jamaica Fire Brigade and Forestry Department are reporting on as well. So just recently we had a meeting and we're trying to, like I said, finalize how it is that we're going to not just report, but also characterize these various fires, whether they bushfires or forest fires or otherwise.
Yeah, got you. Emilia Banks, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit better.
A little better. Okay. What are your concerns in terms of these bush or forest fires over the last year?
Well, once we have any kind of increase in the number of fires, that is of concern to us, because when we look at the areas that are burning, we realize that it includes farmland areas, and a lot of the times what happens from these fires is that when they get out of control, they go into spaces that affects all of us in terms of food crops, as well as in some cases they will go on to burn buildings. So, we have to make sure that we continue to get the information out there to educate persons that you don't need to do this. I grew up originally in St. Elizabeth, where when farmers clear the land, they use a great part of what they would have cleared to do mulching. And we have been educating persons outside of St. Elizabeth in areas such as that, that they can use to boost their yield naturally.
Yeah. And the slash and burn method, any concerns there?
That is the method that we're seeking of, where they continue to clear the land and then burn the refuse from the land that they would have cleared. So that is exactly what we're speaking about.
Yeah. How equipped is the Jamaica Fire Brigade to deal with these forest fires, sir?
In the areas that we are looking on that the forestry department would say are forest, some of these spaces are inaccessible. And so what we'll have to do is we rely heavily on the JDF to assist us with those. But outside of those areas or on the outskirts, we can deal with these incidents. It's just sometimes, as I said, in these areas that are inaccessible to fire units that we have an issue with.
Yes. And the whole matter of crank calls, how does that affect the operations?
Yes, prank calls continue to plague us, and not just us. Emergency service in general are plagued by prank calls, and we cannot overemphasize the importance of not calling the emergency services for prank calls. But we are working on a system that will allow us to report these people to the police, and the police will be able to find them.
So as far as you know, they can be arrested for these things that they're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Under the law, you are causing public mischief, and you can be fined for that. So we really want to, as I said, get the information out with the person. Do not prank call the emergency services.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, do's and don'ts, therefore, in terms of prevention, and also on the other end of the spectrum, if persons see, fires out there, bushfires or forest fires, what should they do or not do? Beginning with you, Demart Williams.
Well, in terms of the do's, we encourage persons to reduce what we call their fuel load. So anywhere that you have branches and trees or any garbage or anything of that nature, we encourage persons to remove those, especially during the dry and windy times, because those are the times that we have most of our forest fires. We also encourage persons to, if it is that you must burn, have what we call control or fuel lines. So those lines, you have them created around the area that you're burning, maybe about 10 to 15 feet in width. Remove all the fuel, including grass, go down to bare mineral soil, as we call it. That will contain the fire somewhat. But of course, if it is on a windy day, we highly discourage persons from lighting any fires whatsoever. The don'ts, of course, include you not kindling or carrying any fires within a forest estate, because that carries with it, under the Forest Act, a maximum fine of $200,000, or in default of payment, 2 years in prison. So we do take this very seriously. And as I mentioned to you earlier, the majority of our forest fires actually start outside of our forest estates. So the forest regulations of 2001 seek to address that as well. So there is a regulation that speaks to the fact that persons should not be lighting fires within a 1 kilometer radius of a forest estate, because those fires, in a lot of instances, do cause the fires within the forest estates by way of embers blowing in the wind and causing fires in the forest estates. So that is also an offense which carries with it a maximum of $50,000, or in default of payment, 1 year in prison. So again, we do take this very seriously.
So even persons who have gone camping or they're hiking and all of that, bonfire, that's a no-no?
That is a no-no. Without the permission of the forestry department, what they're doing within the confines of a forest reserve, that's illegal. Can be fined for it.
Yeah, interesting. Emilia Banks, do's and don'ts from your perspective?
I want to quickly add to that question about the bonfires. It is illegal. You have to get a permit from the fire brigade to carry out such acts.
You're saying no. I'm sorry, Mr. Banks. You're saying no, not only in the forestry areas, but anywhere in Jamaica.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. As we speak to the do's and don'ts, don't prank call emergency services. That is just a given. In terms of the do's, if you must light a fire, what we suggest is that you get a metal drum, a metal container that can be closed with a lid. Punch some holes in the container, small holes, put whatever it is that you are burning in there, light it and cover it.
Yeah.
That that is the only way we suggest that you burn.
Sorry.
And
sorry, we connected so late. We're out of time, Mr. Hibbag. So sorry. Right? But I think we got the general message. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Have a safe and productive day.
Thank you.
Listeners and viewers, the Morning Watch will be right back.
Start your journey with a JN Small Business Loan with small business loans as little as $10,000 and up to $4 million. The time by JN Small Business Loan is...
It is now 7:31 a.m.
You're invited to listen to Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, every Thursday at 10 p.m. First Thursdays, the New United Bible Way Church of God with Reverend Dr. Jasmine Brown. Every second Thursday, Apostle Dr. Elaine Richards, Public Relations Officer, Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, and Women of God in Service, Bogus Ministries International. Every third Thursday, Senior Pastor Fitzroy Carr, Praise Deliverance Ministry. Every fourth Thursday, Reverend Dr. Leonie Samuels, pastor at the Richmond New Testament Church of God in St. Mary. And on fifth Thursdays, Reverend Dr. Ruthlyn McClarty, Kingdom Covenant Family Church. That's Encounter, presented by the Jamaica Association of Full Gospel Churches, every Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
Clean hands are good for your health. In the wake of Hurricane Melissa, protecting your health includes a simple act: washing your hands. Use soap and safe water to remove dirt and germs after cleaning, before eating, and after using the toilet. If clean water is limited, use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Remember, clean hands stop the spread of disease and help to keep families safe. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Mama work hard, for real. She do the most to send me and my brother go school. So, the dream was always to go to university. Well, I fulfilled 2 dreams with 1 Jane Bank savings plan, you know. I further my education and I make mama proud.
Save so you can make the part, travel part, graduate like a star.
Stop wishing you could. With your Jane Bank savings, you absolutely can. Jane Bank will help you find a way.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now look at some news headlines to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. First of all, the Auditor General flags government's new support Jamaica Hurricane Melissa online donation platform, and 121 of 200 Starlink devices unused several weeks after acquisition, says the Auditor General. The opposition, in the meanwhile, calls for full disclosure of the approvals. JLP's Warmington appointed ECJ commissioner, and Guyana and Belize sign MOUs to enhance cooperation. Those are some of the major headlines today. Coming up, we'll share some of the feedback from our social media question. What do you think causes most bush and forest fires in Jamaica? Human activity or natural conditions? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and the YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. We'll be right back.
you believe it? Love 101 is celebrating 33 years of goodness, and we're excited. Join Love 101 for the 33rd anniversary celebration service. Let your light shine. Sunday, February 8th at 10 a.m. at the Filippo Baptist Church, 9 William Street, Spanish Town, with host Pastor Reverend Carl Johnson, the new chairman of the National Religious Media Commission, owners and operators of Love 101 FM. 33 years of goodness, 33 years of letting our love light shine. If you can, come and join us in the sanctuary or listen on Love 101 FM or watch on our social media platforms. It's a 33rd anniversary celebratory church service, Sunday, February 8th, 10 a.m. And it will be live on the family station, Love 101.
Hey, small people crew, it's me, Auntie Vashti, and there's so much about Jamaica. I can't wait to share it with you. Join me this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. on the Small People Show, where little voices make big sounds. Listen every Thursday on Jamaica Up Close. It's all about our treasured island, Jamaica, from fun facts to hidden gems and all the things that make us truly special. Don't miss out. Tune in this and every Thursday on Jamaica Up Close at 4:30 p.m. with me, Auntie Vashti, only on the family station, Love 101.
Small people doing big things forevermore.
Get ready to take a trip down memory lane this Throwback Thursday inside Alive 1 to 5 with yours truly, Sarah and the Chirpy Band. Tune in at 1:45 for a whirlwind of wordplay with Menticize. Prayer Warriors unite, fuel your faith and ignite your spirit at 2 p.m. with Prayer Blast. At 2:15 inside Piece of the Past, we look at something from the past. At 3 p.m., take a musical trip back in time with our Throwback Thursday playlist. At 4:30, stick and stay for more fun coming your way as Auntie Vashti wraps things up with the Small People Show. All this and more will come alive this Throwback Thursday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101.
Come on now, move. Everybody move. Come on now, move.
There is
Life can feel overwhelming at times, but you don't have to face it alone. The Ministry of Counseling and Prayer of the Edgewater Baptist Church is here to support you with our caring and confidential telephone counseling service. Whatever you're going through, grief, stress, family challenges, or just feeling stuck, our trained counselors are ready to listen, pray, and guide you toward hope and healing. Take the first step today. Call us at 876-220-6474 or 876-332-7956. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Help is available through the Prayer and Counseling Ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Remember, help is just a phone call away. That's 876-220-6474 or 876-332-7956. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Call now and let us walk this journey with you.
Cause you pop straight. Everyday moments like buying groceries, paying bills, and grabbing lunch add up. Each time you pay with your Visa card, you're earning a chance to win. 10 lucky winners will receive US $1,000 in household supplies, plus US $1,000 for a registered school in Western Jamaica. 5 winners will win US $500 in groceries, and 3 winners will take home a 30-inch gas stove with a gas cylinder. Every tap earns an entry. Pay with your Visa card today for your chance to win. Promotion ends March 6, 2026. Conditions apply. Visit visa.com.jm. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commissions Act.
Alright. We're going to do a roll call.
The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside Youth Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Rebirth. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. At 3 p.m., your DJ runs the gospel rhythm. Hot, hot. Tune in at 4 p.m. for a time where we share a word to grow your mind. GYM? Grow your mind? Jim. Get it? Grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving all their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We get a taste of poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Faves at 5. All this and more every Saturday at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. with your love jock, your boy, DJ Rebirth. It's all here on the family station. Love 101.
Youth Connection. Shuboti and them figured he provide everything on vibe with we chat. Shuboti and them figured him alone make we appear when we did chat.
Are you interested in what happens in the world of sports? Do you want to hear from athletes and coaches as they talk about their perspectives? Join me, Kathia, right here on the family station Love 101 FM for Sports Talk every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. That's Sports Talk 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station Love 101.
Hello there. This and every Thursday at 6:50 p.m., listen out as Sultan Toussaint shares and connects persons with needs to those who want to help. And if you can help, then please be sure to call the team at Hello Neighbor at 876-334-8165 or email helloneighbor@yahoo.com. That's Hello Neighbor. This and every Thursday at 6:50 p.m. Hello Neighbor, giving what we can to help those we can. It's the Hello Neighbor way, the Bible way. It's all live on the family station Love 101, the #1 gospel station in the nation.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, as Jamaica rebuilds after Hurricane Melissa, schools have reopened, many operating from temporary or partially repaired facilities. Full repairs could reportedly take up to a year and a half for some schools. That's according to the Education Minister. Now, the growing concern is student absenteeism, with teenage boys reportedly making up most of those absent. And education officials warn that the longer the students remain out of school, the less likely they are to return, underscoring the need for stronger strategies to keep students engaged. Well, to discuss these concerns, we have online Dr. Rebecca Tortello, education specialist of UNICEF Jamaica, and Mark Malaba, president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good to have you both with us. I begin with you, Mark Malaba. What update can you give us, read the general state of our schools, approximately 4 months after Melissa?
So my understanding is that a number of the schools out in the western part of the island have commenced repairs. The contracts have been signed, and a number of the contractors are doing some amount of work to repair a number of the schools.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that there are some concerns with respect to the slow pace of some contractors and to get things off the ground. Just yesterday I had a conversation with a colleague principal of mine out in Trelawney, who had expressed to me some concerns with respect to, the contract and the fact that a couple of deadlines have been missed. But those things are expected to happen in all honesty under these circumstances.
Yeah. Dr. Tortello, from UNICEF's perspective, how are our schools doing so far?
I think our schools are doing the best that they can in a very difficult and unprecedented situation. So, as Mr. Malava said, most schools are open in some way, meaning that the students are coming on rotational shifts because of lack of adequate classroom space. They're doing the best they can with tarpaulins as roofs, with tents. UNICEF has provided 92 tents of various sizes across the hardest hit parishes, but not all the children can fit on the tents, so it's a matter of rotation. They're targeting the exam grade students, as you know, to try and come as many days as possible. They're producing workbooks and catch-up material, both online and offline. They're outfitting schools with Starlink, and UNICEF with the EU and Spain with Hispasat devices, which are like Starlinks. There's construction work going. There's issues of keeping the students and the staff safe while the construction work is also going. Similarly, this is happening at early childhood. They're using different venues wherever they can, sending work home, activities home. This is uncharted territory in many ways. Some schools still have shelteries, not as many, but still some are there. And while they are not disrupting classes from being run during the days because they leave the compound or they're separate from the students, they're occupying space that would otherwise be classroom space. So, it means less students can come to school on any given day. So there's definitely, we're heading into the midterm now, very soon. There's definitely an urgency in rehousing, rehoming those who, are being sheltered at the schools, and definitely a need for the country to develop a proper, functioning, realistic shelter policy. We know we have to use our schools. We don't have enough other buildings that can withstand these, hurricanes and storms. But we need to have a plan, a faster plan to move people out of the schools when schools are able, so that schools can resume. Because the most important thing is to get our students safely back to school. Guidance counselors are doing tremendous work, reaching out to families, trying to embed everything that's happening, and the teachers and the principals with psychosocial support for themselves as well as for their students, because many of the teachers also had suffered significant personal damage and loss, and yet they're there teaching, right? And so, they're champions, they're heroes, and the principals too. So it's an all hands on deck situation. Yes, there's a big issue of absenteeism in parishes where traditionally before the hurricane, absenteeism was a challenge to begin with, right? So in the last decade, 2 decades. So they're trying all different ways to get the students back, and one of the core ways is to make sure the canteens are operational and food is being served, right? So that's another priority area. And then water, proper safe water is available at the school, which is something UNICEF has been working a lot on as well with Water Mission, for example.
A mouthful there.
WC.
Yeah, a mouthful there. Malava, what are the major concerns from a JTA perspective in regards to post-Melissa recovery for the schools?
Of course, conditions of service would be significantly impacted during a hurricane. As my colleague quite rightly pointed out, the teachers are working in less than ideal circumstances, and the reality is the working condition of the teacher is the learning condition of the child. So that is a major issue for us. The reality is that a number of our teachers would have suffered significant loss. Personal loss.
Right.
and yet they are being asked to go into the classroom, to pour into students. It's not the most ideal circumstances, because the truth is you just can't pour from an empty cup. And a number of the teachers have been traumatized. A number of the students have been traumatized. One of my greatest concerns is the fact that we have never been equipped to treat with trauma-based teaching, trauma-based engagement with the students in terms of a pedagogical approach. That is a systemic gap in our system that we really need to close going forward. Those are some of the big concerns we have. Of course, that a number of students in some of these areas have chosen not to report to school. The truth is, whenever there is a crisis, these things tend to happen. Because during crisis situations, it is the most vulnerable group of students that are most affected. Many of these students would have lost their homes, their own personal belongings, and literally have just not decided to return to school. And what you're finding is more boys than girls this is happening to. And this is happening to particularly at the high school level, where you're grade 10 and 11 students. That should be a cause of concern for us as a society, because you must, the truth is, we are these students, what's happening to them, and what's happening to them at the end of the academic year. We run the risk of them becoming unattached and detached from the system. And that should be a cause of concern for a number of us. There are a number of teachers who would have also lost, laptops in terms of their laptops during the storm. We have been able to successfully engage the Ministry of Education. We provided them with a list of the teachers that we knew without laptops or lost their laptops. The ministry is moving to see how best they can replace these laptops. Because laptops are really critical to the operations of the school. Connectivity continues to be an issue. It was an issue before.
It's worse now.
And it has been worse now. I think, if anything, just in much the same way with COVID-19, I think Melissa has also said to amplify the fault line within our education system.
Weaknesses.
Amplify the inequities within our education system. It has really helped to demonstrate the lack of resilience, infrastructural resilience that is, in the system. And, it has also, shifted the core of our education system, the teachers. And the biggest or the greatest challenge has to do with psychosocial aspects. When that is impacted, so it's one thing to impact the schools and to blow off the roof and that sort of thing, but that can take place under a tree. But when the psychosocial aspect is impacted,
it's another story.
It almost the system in its entirety. The JP has been on record as to say, we need a sort of regime that demonstrates that the psychosocial aspect is being catered to in a sustainable way. We continue to have some concerns with that. Yes, we know psychosocial support has been given to our teachers. Yes, we know that psychosocial support has been given to our students. But when I zero in on the teachers, there is some concern for me, because I still kind of get the impression that let's treat with the student, and we're doing this, but it's more like, a one-stop shop. We do this and we move on to the students, and it becomes sustainable for the students, but not necessarily sustainable for the teachers, and that is a concern for us. We're not seeing that sort of thing taking place in the way that we would like to see.
Right. Generally speaking, then, as we wind down our discussion, what lessons have or should we learn from the entire experience so far? Beginning with you, Dr. Tortello.
Well, I think, as I said, for sure, we need to have some kind of workable policy in our education and emergency protocols for returning schools that were sheltered back to being operational as schools. We're working out plans for the use of the tents and the redeployment of the tents as repairs happen, and a way to store them so that should this happen again, we would be able to get them up sooner. The psychosocial support is ongoing, as my colleague mentioned. Prior to the hurricane, post-COVID-19, almost 1,000 teachers were trained in a methodology called Return to Happiness, which helps them to better help themselves and their students. And since then, we have doubled that number or almost tripled it. So that's ongoing. Mm-hmm. And the guidance counselors have a system that they're piloting now where they're twinning counselors outside of the most affected parishes with counselors in the most affected parishes for peer-to-peer support, but also for school-to-school support. And so that's something that's another sort of deeper dive into the regular psychosocial activities. They're working out ways to embed field trips and other activities for the students and the teachers, to add a different sort of approach to teaching, putting resources in the classrooms that can support that or embed the psychosocial check-ins on a daily basis, play-based materials, just strategies for checking in with your students, with your peers. So we're learning a lot, right? And the hope is, and the plan is to document everything so that we can be better prepared going forward.
Yeah. Malava, same question to you.
So
quickly as you can, quickly.
From a leadership perspective, I'll reach out to what my colleague has said and good work. But I think we need to also go further than that. There is a need for crisis leadership training amongst our critical stakeholders, our teachers, our principals, our education officers, and resonating it right up into central government in terms of how we respond, how we communicate, the things that we do as we prepare for an impending crisis, what we do during the crisis, immediately after, that sort of thing. So I think there are major gaps in that department, and we need to close. We need to learn our lessons from COVID-19 and the Melissa. And I am happy that steps are being taken to document these things, because at the end of the day, we need a roadmap as to how, a sort of a manual as to how we respond to various crises. Bearing in mind that a crisis can come in different forms.
Yeah, got to leave it there.
Can I add quickly that the NCEL is doing exactly that? So UNICEF is working on an EIE, Education and Emergency course for school leaders.
Okay.
Have components for teachers. So
got to leave it there. Got to leave it there. So yes, thanks for joining us, Dr. Rebecca Tortello, Education Specialist of UNICEF, and Mark Malaba, President of the JTA. Thank you both. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. For information or to get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-959627. This, of course, has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Yashika Nevers, and our guests. Please join Stokely Marshall next week as he continues to look at the issues of the day. I'm Dylan Toussaint, handing you back to Jukal Dyer with Love in the Morning.